Okay. Beautiful. I forgot my brush. How is everybody? Oh, we got, oh gosh. Look at what you guys do to me. I get so excited that I forgot to put a cover in my tea. I forgot to put my shoes on. Ah, when I'm meeting with you, it's like having the best date. I don't know if you get excited about life, but I get excited just about being with you, spending some time with you guys, and sharing some experiences. Hello, 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 hello. So we have very good things to talk about today. Good things happening. I want to see how are we doing with my YouTube. How is YouTube? I know TikTok is perfect, and I know Instagram is perfect. So I got my outline that we're gonna be talking about today, and I have the book I'm gonna be using is book number 5. And what I have in my head to talk about today is about positioning yourself in perfect alignment with your divine destiny. Positioning yourself. This is one of the things that I learned this morning when I was doing my morning ritual. Okay, I think it's good now. So how important is how we position ourselves. And sometimes when we don't have that clear knowledge of who we are, we get ourselves in the way. Instead of removing yourself, you end your way that you cannot do, be, and have the things that you want to achieve, be, do, and have. So that's one of the things that I learned this morning. I really got, because when you work on yourself, personal development, and this is what one of the affirmation that I shared with you today from my videos on YouTube is the affirmation: my natural physical state is health and vitality. My natural physical state is health and vitality. And my emotional condition is peace and happiness. And my natural state is your natural emotional state is happiness and peace. And if we get all messed up, but let me try to organize my thoughts better, because I get so excited. I need to calm down, relax, release, and enjoy. That's my thing. So how do we position ourselves in personal alignment with your divine destiny? Number one, you need to believe that you have a divine destiny.
This is Juvederm. Juvederm Ultra XC is the #1 chosen hyaluronic acid filler. Juvederm is the one that has always.
Why are we getting a commercial in TikTok?
Safety information and to find a licensed specialist, visit Juvederm.com.
Okay, TikTok. This is crazy. Wow. This is crazy. I tell you, and this is why it's so important that we have that sense of clarity of our purpose and what we are trying to do. So positioning yourself in personal alignment with your divine destiny. Number one, you have to believe that you have a divine destiny. You have to believe that there is something special for you. You have to believe that your life has meaning and power. And a lot of time we don't allow life or God to place you in the right position. And sometimes, and that happens, I know in my life a lot, that I have to get myself out of the way. And if I don't want to get myself out of the way, God gets me out of the way. It's just amazing because if you want to find things in life, sometimes from the perspective that you're standing, you cannot see it. So life, God, or you, or I don't know what, or circumstances immediately move yourself, and then you can see a different perspective of what you want to achieve. And the things that is very clear, and I think what triggered this morning this meditation or this kind of thoughts in my head this morning was the fact that I didn't want to get up this morning. I just want, it's so nice, to stay in bed, just do nothing, to stay in bed. But I I got up and I did my part of the ritual that I do between 3 and 4:30 before I leave my house. 4:30, I'm still trying to find an excuse not to do the thing that will take me in the direction of what I want to achieve. So, you look for reason to sabotage yourself. You look for reason to justify yourself. So you feel, oh, well, I can do this because blah, 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 blah. What was mine? Mine was, well, today I trained upper body with my coach. This is me in my head, okay? This morning at 4:30 because I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be disciplined. I didn't want to obey. So I'm all dressed to go, okay? Praise the Lord. So I lie down in my bed with my clothes, my shoes, everything on. I lie in bed, and this is when the work of the Spirit comes and you help. When you work on your spirit, then you have this invisible support system that will save you from your mediocrity. Because with that kind of thinking that I had this morning, it's not the thinking of excellence. It's a kind of thinking of mediocrity. So I'm lying in my bed, not wanting to go out to do my ritual, what I do every morning, and the pop gets in my head. You know what it says? The questions, the spirit, the life force, God, the energy, asked me this question. Is staying in bed is going to take you in the directions of your dream? Woo! When I heard that, I get chills. Immediately, pow, out. Because the question that I was asked was, and this is what I wanted to share this with you. If the decision you're making right now, not doing what you're supposed to do, is that decision taking you in the direction of your dreams and your goals? Of course, I'm competing in 5 weeks, probably less now. It's May 5th. So if I'm competing and everything popped in my head, it was a flash. Like everything, when I'm competing in 5 weeks, though, this is not helping me. Staying in bed, it's not helping me to achieve what I want to achieve. If I want to be excellent, if I want to win. Because let me tell you one thing, in life in general, winning is not that you're beating somebody else and no. I don't believe in that kind of success. When I talk about success, when I talk about winning, it's a type of success that is personal. It's the personal victories. It's your private victories. Things that, like for me, it was a victory that I got the information. This is going to take you in the direction that you want to go? No. Wow. And I have the most amazing, as always. It's always beautiful to watch the sunrise. It's always beautiful to smell the flowers and the sound of creation and the smell, the perfume of the new day. It's just glorious. And there was let me calm down. Cálmate, mamacita. Slow down. The moon, beautiful stars, just gorgeous, perfect. So that got me thinking about I need to position myself. And what I was doing today was positioning myself for failure. Instead, but God, the life force, the power, the energy, my spirit, it takes me into the right path. And this is important. This is the power that you have when you dedicate yourself to cultivate your body, your mind, and your spirit. So if I didn't do that diligent work every single day in my spirit, I will not have these resources that will get me out of the dump, get me in the direction that I supposed to be going. Why? Because I have a divine destiny. And so everybody else who's right here with me, we all have a divine destiny, but I have to be in alignment with a divine destiny. How do you get in alignment with a divine destiny? A lot of you have my book number 5. So you're gonna find almost everything that I'm talking about right now is about book number 5. It's the positioning, it's the being in the right, and let me tell you, being in the right place at the right time. And sometimes at the place that it seems to you that is not the right place, probably is the place that you need to be in this particular time. The issue is to look into that situation, into those circumstances, what's in it for you? Ask yourself the question, what's in this for me? What can I learn from me? How can this benefit me? And this is one of the things that I think is important for all of us to ask ourselves question. I mentioned that to my coach this morning when we were working out. I said, I was trying to sabotage myself, giving me the excuse that, oh, I have you today, so I don't have to go in the morning and do my ritual. And and then we were talking about we need to ask ourselves questions. Ask yourself the question. And I think this is a powerful question that you can ask yourself every single day. It is what I'm doing right now, what I'm doing today, what I'm planning to do today. Is this taking me in the direction that I want to go? But of course, you need to know in what direction you want to go, because if you don't know the direction, any place will be good. And this is the reason why most people just get any job, any house, any car, any partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. You get anything because we don't have a clear goal of what is your divine destiny. So one of the things that I will highly recommend to you, if you don't have book number 5, then you need to get book number 5. And as you will see, like when we open the book and the content, the table of content, dwelling in the spirit and his plan for your life. The spirit has a plan for you. This is on page number 4. Your spirit has a plan. Your spirit has a reason. But let me tell you, let me stop here with this point that the indwelling, the spirit within you has a plan for you. It's just what happened that we think that the plan that the spirit has for us is something that is going to be special. It's going to be something like, oh my God, oh my God. No, 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 no. You have to fulfill your goals at the natural level. You have to do the thing that you're supposed to do at the natural level, the human part of it. Because as you keep moving in that plane of reality of a spiritual development, it's like taking step. You go, you take the escalator. Gracias. Thank you. Join my team. I love you too. So you take in. So the more it's like many times I tell you, it's just the spiritual muscle. It's just the same as your physical muscle. If you don't go to the gym to train your muscle, you're gonna be weak. You're not gonna be doing what I just did last Wednesday. I increased my muscle mass, and you know it because I share it with you. So at my age, and all the crap that they tell you, you can do this, you can do that. Don't buy into that. Really, we're gonna get into that in a minute. But I have so many things in my head. But let me go back into to the natural. You have to fulfill the goals. You have to fulfill your purpose at the natural. In my life, I have fulfilled all the goals that I thought it was my goals, because see, in the natural, you think that you're doing the things on your own, which in reality, when you keep climbing, and the higher you get into that this mountain, you're gonna look down, and you're gonna see that you haven't been by yourself all the way. That spiritually, you have been helped, and that spiritual help is manifested by the people who come into your life. Wow! Isn't that beautiful? So, but you, in your head, in your human mind, you think it's all about you. You think you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that. But then you recognize at one moment that you have been helped all the way by many people, by divine power, by God. You find yourself that God has always been with you, that has never abandoned you, because this is one of the promises that God says: I will never leave you and I will never forsake you. And when you hold on into these amazing, beautiful promises, and you truly believe and you have the faith, you have this life of complete alignment between your divine destiny and your human life, and it becomes an amazing journey, an amazing way to live your life, because you live life in happiness and peacefulness, contentment. So that you have to, that spirit within you, you have to do the thing that you're supposed to do. Let me tell you one thing. What were the things that I supposed to do in my case? I'm going to use me as an example, because I'm the best person that I know, that I can talk about is myself. Okay. So in my book number 1, you're going to find my history. What did I do? How did I spend my first 40 years? So my first 40 years, and this is book number 1. As you know, we have five books, and this is book number 1. And this will tell you the story, everything that you need to know about me growing up and how I got where I'm at. Starting in book number 1. So I did fulfill all those goals. I went to school. What are you supposed to do? I mean, okay, this is what I believe. Some people might not. What are you supposed to do? You have a gift. Whether you go to school or you don't go to school, that's not the issue. The issue is that you have a gift. That's a gift that you were born with. Your job is to discover, and not only to discover the gift, but to open the gift and to develop that gift to the max. This is why when people ask me, oh, for how long you gonna compete? For as long as I can, because based on this test, I still increasing my muscle mass. I still feel fabulous. I still feel like I wanna keep competing, because it's my gift. And you don't put the gift away until you're dead. And if you want to know from the spiritual point about that, you read Psalm 93. In Psalm 93, let me make sure it's 92. Yeah, Psalm 92. If you want to find what I'm talking about, the biblical aspect of this, then you ask me, I probably know it by heart, or I have my little cheat card here. But anyway, so you have to do the thing that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to school or develop your trade, develop your gift, because that gift is for you to manifest yourself. That's the gift that identifies you. That's the gift that separates you from the rest of the world. That's why when people say, oh, this woman is like you. No, nobody is like me. Nobody is like you. So never let other people brand you. Okay? People, oh, this person looks like you, and send me a video. I don't even watch the video. Why? Because in my head, I don't have the mentality of comparing myself with anybody. You know why? Because like you, I am unique and different. And then when you concentrate your energy and your lifetime to develop that gift, to make the difference, to be the best human being that you can be, that to do the thing that you're supposed to do at every single day at any particular time. And here, it doesn't count the circumstances. It doesn't count, I don't have the money. Nothing. There is no excuses. And why do I say that? You might be thinking, oh, that's easy for you to say. Read my book number 1. Read my book number 1. I don't buy the idea that is empty pockets or empty bank account. It's empty head and empty heart. Because when you have your heart and your head full with your dreams, like I always do, my head is full with my dreams. My head is full with the thing that I want to achieve, the thing that I want to accomplish. How do I? And that means developing myself. All my energy, all day long, is about working on myself. You might call it anything you want, but we're not going to go in that direction. I will read your questions in a minute. So from the human point of view, you really have to do the thing that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do your job. Whatever it is, you can ask me questions, but I want to keep going. Whatever it is that you're supposed to do, you do it, no matter what job, no matter what. Because when you have a mentality, what I'm doing right now is not my final destiny. When I was preparing, when I was, oh wow, whatever, I always knew in my head, this is not my final destiny. What I'm doing right now is preparing me for the adventure ahead. But I cannot have a beautiful adventure if I don't do the work. I cannot be in alignment with my divine destiny when I don't have any connection with the divine. And a lot of people, they never connect with the divine. A lot of people never connect with that part of them that is divine, that is like that is precious, that is amazing, that power, that potential, that divinity within you. And those we think that the divine only God can be divine. No, that applies to you and that applies to me. Because if you read your Bible, you study it, you will find exactly that's what God says about how precious you are, how He constantly is looking for opportunities to be gracious to you. Can you believe that? That in Isaiah, he talks about He's always longing, waiting, expecting, looking for opportunities to be gracious to you. I read a scripture and oh my God, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm always ready for God to be gracious to me. And this is another thing. Part of the positioning yourself, you have to also have the spirit of humbleness. You have to be humble enough to allow the energy, to allow the power to guide you. If you don't allow the energy, and you might say, but wait, I don't know the energy, how that works. You have to study. You cannot get good in your physical body if you don't go to the gym. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not gonna achieve anything. So this is what you need to do. Make a commitment to work on your divinity, to work on your spirit, because that is what's good. The more you work in your spirit, the more you are in alignment with the divinity, because you know what it is. I can talk to you about this all day long happily, but it's something that you need to experience for yourself. It's like me trying to explain to you the flavor of mango, or try to explain to you the flavor of my tea. You have to taste it. You have to eat a mango so you can understand the flavor of mango. And the same thing is with your spiritual reality. You have to wake up. You have to ignite the spirit within you. And that spirit within you is all about fire. You're on fire. You power. Another thing that we need to know that I think is very important, was very clear for me this morning, for us to positioning ourselves in the perfect alignment with the divinity. Everybody, this is what I will suggest for everybody. You need to have private time. I have it. Okay, yeah, you can have private time in your room, but private time in nature. You need to make time to connect with nature, but because in nature you find the connection with the power that is the power of the universe, the power of the moon, the power of the stars, the planets, the power of the sound of creation, the smell of the flower, the smell of of the beginning of a new day, the breaking between the dark morning, 3 o'clock, and then you see how the morning is victory, declaring victory to the night, because no darkness has ever prevailed against light. And this is one of the things that also I will recommend for you, is to read in John 14, and what Jesus is talking about the light. Why do you need to follow the light? Why do you need to walk in the light? Because you find too much darkness. You find darkness. Every place you go, you find the dark light. The dark and the dark light. You know, she's like, oh, dark is dark. No, the dark light, the people who don't want, the people who doesn't want your best interest, the people that only can see the negativity, the people that always can criticize you about whatever. They don't like your dress, they don't like your eyes, they don't like your skin, whatever. But that's not your problem. You should not waste 1 ounce of your life, of your breath, in what other people think about you, because your only concern, the only opinion that you should care about is the opinion that God has for you and you have for yourself. If you have a great opinion about you, if you respect yourself, if you constantly are having personal victories, private victories, you feel like you're a good person, that you don't have to proclaim to the world, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, follow me, believe in me, believe in me. I don't buy that. You are your best. You are, once you have that confidence, that sense of clarity within you, you're definitely not going to go in the direction of following the crowd. And you start learning from yourself. You start learning how to eat right. You learn how to exercise right. You learn how to take care of your physical body right. You learn to be, really, you learn a life of godliness and a natural light, because you stop following the crowd. You stop following what any influencer, anybody, whoever out there is saying, and you follow your own intuition. And this is when it comes that sense of alignment. You cannot be in alignment with your divinity when you're following everybody out there, because everybody out there is crazy. Everybody out there is crazy. Okay, so if you constantly follow over here, following over there, and you don't do your own thing, and you know, how can you be in alignment? If I'm following everybody sends me videos, if I'm going to start following all these videos, I will lose myself. I will have no clue of who I am, because there's always somebody. You're always going to find somebody better than you and worse than you. And for me, I compare myself with the best of me and the worst of me. And I'm always working on the worst of me, so the worst of me become less and less and less and less every single day. That every single day I ask God less and less. Oh, forgive me, I blew it again. I blew it again. And God doesn't have any problem with that, because you already saved. You already earned the heavens. You already saved. Jesus did that for you. So you don't have to worry, but you have to obey. You have to obey because you have a divine destiny. You're like Esther. You are born for such a time as this. And if you don't apply yourself, and if you don't believe in yourself, and if you don't prepare yourself, and if you don't go through the human step, and then as Abraham Maslow, talk about self-actualization. And when you get to the top of the scale of self-actualization, the next step is spiritual development. Because when you achieve everything at the human level, there is something like an Ecclesiastes said, something that we're still earning for, something that we still want, something that we're still missing. And what is that missing? The missing is nothing that has to do with the natural world. It doesn't have to do with the house. It doesn't have to do with the kids. It doesn't have to do with the girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. It has to do with your own personal satisfaction, your own personal growth. Who? Oh, Mike Tyson. I just saw a video yesterday. Mike Tyson. I stop and watch people like have done amazing things. So Mike Tyson, let me have a drink. Have a drink. Hola, YouTube, Gabriela. You know what he was saying? They were interviewing him, and he had all this belt from the championship belt. And he was saying, this is meaningless, meaningless. And the guy who interviewed him, but why? This is your championship. He said, that doesn't mean anything. You're still empty. And not until, and that goes with a lot of people who have all the commodities, all the success, material success. But the most important success is your spiritual success, your personal success. Success is when you feel good about yourself. Success is when you feel that you're making a difference in your life. And it's not because you're rich and famous. It's because in your environment, you're a happy person and you project that energy and you project that vibration and you feel good. You go to sleep at night and you feel good with the thing you did today. So, and the dwelling spirit, the spirit within you. I'm on page 5 in my book. I'm reading from my book. The indwelling spirit has a plan for your life. Have you asked your spirit what is the plan for your life? If you don't have a clue, if you at the human level don't have a clue, what is your plan? What is your calling? What is your purpose? Ask your spirit. Before you ask an advisor, before you ask a counselor, before you ask your psychiatrist, your psychologist, and those resources are fabulous when we need them. But also, like I said with the doctors, you need to do your work. You need to do your work. You cannot go to the psychologist. Oh my God, I know my purpose. No, what have you done? Have you worked on yourself? What have you done? And then when you have found out, then you can apply yourself and look for help. But you already know. Like I said to my coach, I want to compete. I already know what's the goal. So we plan, we organize ourselves and with the goal that I'm competing. So a specific goal. And that applies to everything in your life. So you have to ask your spirit, what is my calling? I'm confused. Talk to the spirit. Talk to God. You know, the thing is with us, and this is why we're so messed up spiritually, because we never set time to speak to God. We talk to everybody else. You talk to everybody else. Do you have a specific time in which you talk to God? You have a date with God. You have a date with your boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Your husband, your wife. Do you have a date with God? Do you have a specific time that you dedicate to God? Do you have time, a specific amount of time during your day, that day, that time is in connection with God's creation, with nature, to go for a walk? It doesn't matter where you live. You can live in the mountains. You can live in the desert. You can live in the ocean. You can in the valley. You can live any place that is beautiful. The universe is just full of greatness and beauty and power, and it's just amazing. I never get bored. I've been here in this place and here in Florida for almost 40 years, and I never get bored of my beach. My walk in the morning is every single day. It's an aha moment. It's that sense of pureness. You got to keep a pure heart. And to keep a pure heart, you have to work on your spirit. If you don't work on your spirit, you will never have a pure heart. Because everything is coming from the head. And everything in the head, everything is messed up. So, I'm on fire. Now, okay, so another way that the spirit is going to speak to you, like we all already know, is in page 6, the still small voice. It was just that voice that told me this morning, If you stay in bed, it's not gonna take you in the direction of your dream. It's gonna make you to win your competition. So that is, and then that comes. But you have to, let me tell you one thing. You have to be willing, you have to give permission for the spirit, for your spirit to talk to you. God is not an intruder. God doesn't come and it's gonna take over your place. No. If you don't invite God within you, if you don't invite your spirit, and if you don't invite and say, please help me, this power of life, and if you don't ask and you shall receive, knock and it shall be open, seek and you should find. Are we doing it? So we need to invite, like me. When I lie down in my bed this morning, I'm just, oh my God, I don't want to go, and I'm thinking, and I'm questioning myself. And the answer to the question was, listen, if you stay in bed, it's just going to take you closer to your goal. Wake up, out. Okay. I just block a very nasty. We need to take time to visualize. Visualize. You need, yeah, Yoli said we need to take time to visualize, but we take time to visualize and act. Because a lot of people spend a lot of time visualizing, but no action. Visualization is an act. You have to visualize yourself, and every single day you have to move in that direction. I can visualize competing, but if I don't go to the gym, and if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, if I don't eat right, and if I don't rest, then what visualization just not gonna take me just a visualization. The visualization has to be in alignment, congruent with your action. Because a lot of people visualize, and they visualize one thing, but they do something else. Or they visualize one thing and they speak something else. So we have to be very clear. You are an inspiration, Ivano. Iván, thank you so much. Well, I'm going to reset. Hola, coach. Qué gusto escucharla. Only God gives you a true sense of fulfillment. Exactly. And that is in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes talk about that God has created everything so beautiful and so perfect. And within our heart, it gives us a desire for eternity. So this desire that we have, this kind of seeking, this kind of hunger, this is a spiritual hunger. So a lot of times you don't need to be doing a diet because you have to lose weight. The main diet that you have to do is your spiritual diet. You are in a spiritual deficiency. And once you start developing your spirit, you won't have craving and eating this and eating that, because the spirit starts molding you. The more you study, the more you read my books, the more you read your Bible, the more you focus your energy in the development, you start becoming it. So because then we go from visualization, action, and becoming it. This is not what I do. This is what I am. What you see me doing every single day, this is not what I do. This is what I am. This is my life. What I tell you is exactly what I'm telling you today, is exactly what I learned this morning when I wanted to sabotage myself and not doing my thing that I supposed to do. So, okay. I'm gonna stop, and we're gonna have a few minutes for questioning. And if you have any questions about this, positioning, the title for today is positioning yourself in perfect alignment with your divine destiny. So one of the things that we need to do is to have a natural space. You need to that you are in contact with nature. It's not in your house. Yes, I do have a space in my home. My room is a sanctuary, where I sleep. Where I have my Bible is another space, a divine space. And then I have my ritual in the morning, which is amazing, 6 miles plus the ocean. That's what I have. So to get in touch with the natural world, because that's gonna bring to you peace, happiness, and contentment. When you get in touch with nature, remember, we are a nature creatures. We are part of nature. So when you stay away from it, you find yourself missing something. And it's not a craving for chocolate. It's not what you're missing. And sometimes try it. When you have a craving for something, go for a walk. Go do something outside that is in your environment. If you like snow, go skiing. If you like cross-country skiing, go cross-country skiing. Whatever you have, just change it to see what happens. And you find yourself evolving in a magnificent, fantastic, amazing, beautiful way. Okay, so we need to get a space. We need to have a date. We need to speak. We need to make contact with our spirit. We have to treat our spirit with respect. We cannot be ignoring our spiritual reality. The more you ignore your spiritual reality, the more you become far and far away from who you are, because there is a piece of you that is missing. If you look at your life. I'm going to stop and just look at your life. Do what you're supposed to. Listen, do what you're supposed to do, and then allow the power, the energy, position you. The positioning is not about you. Positioning is not about you. The only thing that is about you is to do the work that you're supposed to do every single day at this particular time. Stop killing yourself. Stop questioning yourself. Do the best that you can do every single day, and you will see how everything around you changes, especially you. Okay, so I'm going to stop and take your questions or your comments. Qué linda. Un saludo desde México, Dalinda. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Lisette, how is the thing in YouTube? How is the sound? Lisette, se me olvidó preguntar how is the sound. And look, this is what happened when I'm with you guys. I get so excited. It's a date. I get excited. It's like a date. You know when you have a date? If you ever have one. Yes. Well, okay, let's see TikTok. Do we have any questions? Any question, Edith? I love you laugh. Wow, Max. Thank you. Very good sound. Okay, and clarity. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so remember them. Everything you're gonna find all this stuff about the alignment. You find this is just a table of content from my book number 5 that you should get. And obviously a lot of you don't have the book because I don't see any comments from the book. I don't see any questions about what is in the book or what I'm saying today. So how do you handle negative conflict in your life? Okay. Negative conflict, and how do you handle, good question, how do you handle negative conflict in your life? Number one, from home. Because the first thing that you have to do is value. Okay, the conflict is coming from where? From your children, from your husband, from your wife, from your boss. And this is a really open question, because the conflict can be, you gotta give me family conflict. It depends. If it is your mom, what is it? Give me more, because see, if I'm not the one promoting the conflict, or if I'm the one who promotes the conflict, that wherever I go is a conflict, because this is another thing that we have to take a look. Okay, if every place I go, I have a conflict. If every place I go, people don't like me and it's a conflict with me, the common denominator is me. So that yo soy the one with the problem. So everything depends, because if there is a problem with your husband, then you sit down, and if that relationship is not working, then you have to be strong enough that it doesn't work. We agree, and then we don't have to kill each other. We agree it doesn't work for me anymore. It doesn't work for you, and be willing to, in a very beautiful way, say goodbye. There is nothing in life is forever. So how do you? In my life, how do I deal with conflict? I have no conflict. And you know why? Because when I have them, I act on them. I remember, I don't remember, you probably don't remember, I don't know if you were here, when I told you about my husband when I was in Massachusetts, and I have a problem. My problem was I was miserable in Massachusetts for the last 3 years. I was miserable. And almost every day, I will tell my husband, complain to my husband about how miserable I was in Massachusetts. And you know what happened? One of those days, I'm sitting at the kitchen table and I'm complaining about my misery. Let me tell you one thing. He's from Massachusetts. He was born there. All his family is in Massachusetts. He had no problem. He was born there. So he doesn't have a problem with winter. He was born there. I wasn't. So one morning, I'm telling him again, for the 5 millionth time, how miserable I was. And you know what happened? He looked at me and he said, "That's your problem, not my problem." Pow! You woke me up. He told me, "Josefina, that's your problem. It's not my problem." Immediately, I started taking action about me not living in Massachusetts because I was miserable. All the things what was going on wrong with me in my career. They didn't want to promote me because they could not find somebody who did my job, and it was a whole bunch of little things that were happening at the same time. So you need to do. You have a conflict. Think of who causes the conflict. What can you do to solve it? Number one, you have to look at yourself. You have to say, okay, I'm the one with the problem, and that's exactly what I did. Because I was miserable there. We bought a little house first here in Florida, and I moved to Florida with my 2 kids. Because I was miserable, he wasn't. Then a year later, he decided that he didn't want to stay away from the kids, and then he moved to Florida. Now it's his problem. Now he's happy here. So, you're either a part of the problem or a part of the solution. You have to have a very proactive mind. You cannot go through life with conflict and fighting and this. You don't. You don't need to do that, because you're wasting your talent, you're wasting your potential, you're wasting your divine destiny. You are wasting this. Oh my God. No, absolutely not. The things that Jesus says about that are in my head. But I can't repeat it because I will get too crazy. Maria. Yeah, so you have to, and then what happened is this. We start focusing in the conflict instead of the solution. You either a part of the problem or a part of the solution. If you don't want, you need to focus how you resolve this. What causes this? And do you the best that you can do. You cannot do nothing, then you separate yourself from that. You don't have to participate in somebody else's drama. That was my drama. And my husband decided he wasn't gonna participate in my drama. I was the one with the problem with the cold and the winter and this and the snow and the ice and all that. Let me see a comment. Oh, moving I am moving over. Told my husband he can come. Yeah. You know what? I'm just sharing with you what works for me, because women suffer for other benefits. Yeah, that's it. That's actually so. Women suffer for other benefit. Doesn't make sense. You didn't come here to suffer. Let me go get my Bible. You want me to go get my Bible to tell you why you want him to suffer? How different? I love you are so direct with. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can't be, we don't have time to go around the bushes. Okay, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for suffering. Jesus said it 500 million times in John. Read John 14, read John, the book of John. Start reading the book of John. And he says that he came for us to be happy, to be successful, for our cup to be overflowing, to be fruitful, to have the sap. He called sap, that energy that is within the trees that we're supposed to be stay young and fulfilling and working and doing and fulfilling this amazing life that we until he calls us to go. He said it. I go to my father, and my father had many houses. So I'm going to go to my father and I'm going to prepare a room for you. Every night, I tell Jesus, please, Jesus, do you have my room for me? I can't wait. Because I can imagine Jesus' room that he prepares for me. So you need to study. You need to study a spiritual. You need to study your spiritual, because when you work on your spirit, you don't have this conflict. You see peace instead of that. You see peace instead of fighting. You and the people who are drama queens and people who like to create this kind of thing, you stay away from these people. The Bible said, don't hang out with slackers. Don't hang out with negative people. You know what? Because negative thoughts are not from God. When you have negative thoughts in your head, negative thoughts are not from God. It came to me last week. This is another thing that happened to me last week. I was Holy Week. So I was really, I was born during Holy Week. And so it's a very special time for me besides Jesus and all that. And I always tell Jesus, oh my God, why did you die for me? That horrible death. I always felt guilty. For a long time, I felt guilty that I wasn't worthy for Jesus to die for me, to hang in there, mistreated, punched, and da 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 da. You know what happened to me last week, Holy Week? When I'm thinking about that, I have a Christ, a Christ and the cross in my room, and before I leave my room in the morning, I touch it and I pray for you guys that you guys can feel His presence. It popped in my head the thought. This is what the Spirit told me. Josefina, negative thoughts are not from God. Stop it. Woo! I stop it and I'm sharing it now with you. So now anybody who tells me that, I'm going to repeat what my Holy Spirit told me. Negative thoughts are not from God. So stop it. When you have this negative thought, are not from God. So if it isn't from God, it's coming from the negativity, for the devil, for evil, for wicked. You call it any way you want it. Okay? But negative thoughts are not from God. Gabriela. Tratará de verlo lo que queda. Wow, needed to hear that negative thoughts are not from God. Yes, that's what he told me. Because I've been feeling, oh my God, since I was probably 10 years old. In one of the Holy Weeks in my country, my grandmother used to take us to the procession. They had the Christ and then the urn, and they walk around, in our countries, they do that. And I remember as a child looking at the Christ lying in the there. And I felt so bad since then until last week when God told me, Josefina, negative thoughts are not from God. Freedom, liberation, no more guilt, no more guilt. And he says it a lot in John. Read the book of John, chapter 14. John, it's just amazing. Okay, my friends, so Zulay, hola Zulay, que tendrá una... Yes, fascinating. Hola Zulay, buenas tardes. Hello. Good afternoon. Hi Lily. Buenas tardes. Okay, so I'm going to be, maybe I do the Spanish one on Saturday. We'll see. Usually Spanish is on Mondays. But I didn't do English last week, so I needed to do it today. And I felt this sense of urgency to come to you guys today and share about this positioning yourself in personal alignment with your divine destiny. Positioning yourself. Thank you, Sulai. I love you too. Any questions about positioning yourself? Anybody has any questions about that before we go? Okay, so nobody has any questions. So remember, all my books, you find them in Amazon. We have the 5 books. This is the 5 books. So you find them in Amazon. You go to Amazon, get the books. You can also download my CDs from my website, drjosefina.com. I have amazing CDs there that will, affirmation CDs and CDs that will help you with self-esteem, self-image, goal setting, meditation. Which book? You can, okay, so the book we're talking about today is this book, book number 5. Okay, book number 5. This is book number 5, but I have book number 1. And if you're beginning everything else you're starting, I recommend book number 1 and book number 4. These 2 books I recommend together, 1 and 4. Okay. And the one we are using today for spiritual alignment is book number 5. Yes, Sofa. Yes, get the books. I tell you, get the books because you will make an investment. And this is something that I tell people that get my books. You study my books because this is what I suggest, that you get the books, or you can start with 1 and 4, 1 or just 1 or 5, whatever you want. But subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Josefina. And if you study the books and you complement the books with my videos, then you have an amazing and incredible resources for success, for your transformation. And when you have questions and you have things that it has to do with this, with my books and my videos, your personal development, I will help you for free. So, but those only for people who have my books, who study my videos, and I know because I'm a teacher, so I know when the student has done homework and when the student is being slacking and cheating. I'm an amazing teacher. That's my calling. So, and that's what I tell people. You do the work, you do the things that you're supposed to do. I'm happily help you in your path to growth. Mindset. Jolly Moreno. Oh, everything is a mindset. Lisette, gracias, doctor. Gracias, Lisette. Okay, so let's say goodbye. I said power, you said wow. Isn't this weird? I did my shoulders today. Okay, see you guys next week, God willing. Okay, Lily, mwah. God willing, see you next week. Okay, pow, wow. Oh yes, we ending here. Beautiful.